Hello everyone and welcome back for some more Drag Race gossip, secrets and drama. So today we're going to be talking about two recent dramas that have happened within the world of Drag Race. The first is that Onya Nurve has sparked some backlash after some comments she made where she seemed to imply that she is not friends with the season 17 cast. And the other drama is to do with Tamisha Iman getting called out for using AI, and then she clapped back about it. All that and more coming up in today's video, so let's get started. I also want to quickly mention that I recently interviewed Akhillee Forgot over on my interview channel, Sat with Matt, and she spilled a lot of really interesting backstage tea about season 17, including her recent fallout with Ariete and she got blocked. So if you are interested, go and check out that interview with Akhillee, and I'll link to it in the description. Okay, so we're first going to start with the drama to do with Onya Nurve. Onya recently appeared on the Minority Report podcast, and one of the hosts asked her what the sisterhood has been like since her season, because there have been some characters on the show, and they wanted to know whether the cast are actually close. I'll play the full clip, but basically Onya said that she has respect for all of the queens, but she's not really friends with them, and they can't relate to each other's experiences.
There can only be one winner, but there's 13 people who didn't win. So there's a lot more people to click up with because you guys have commonality. No one has commonality with me. And that's no shade. Like, I came on the show to win. That's what I did. I didn't come there to make friends, so I'm not mad that I don't have besties. After the show, they can relate on not winning. I can't.
What's the sisterhood been like? Are y'all close?
Well, this is what I'll say. I have respect for all of them. They're all my sisters. They're all my girls. We did a big thing all together, but I think friends is a strong word. I had my experience on the show. They had theirs. And I don't feel like being my friend was on the top of their list. And by the time some of the girls realized that I should have been, it was kind of too late. They're my girls. And I don't mean no shade. Like, they're my girls. They call me for anything. I'll be there. But like,
this clip then got posted to the podcast's official Instagram account, and that's when the backlash happened, because people started sharing it and asking if the season 17 queens really don't like each other, and the queens started commenting on the post. For example, Lana Gera commented saying, "Oh wow." Crystal Envy said, "Oh." Joella commented with emojis. Ariete then commented saying, "LMAO, honestly, she ate." And Jules Sparkle's drag mother, Chantel Sparkles, commented saying, "I live." Onya then later commented on the post, and her post is pinned, and she said, "Alexa, play Truth Hurts by Lizzo." Lana Gera actually replied to Onya saying, "Genuinely thought we were closer than this, but happy you were able to share your thoughts. It's only been love over here, and me and you both know that." There was then some backlash from the wider fandom, who started saying that Onya was coming across as ungrateful and she was being unnecessarily rude about the other queens. The wider conversation about this then moved over to Twitter. One of the first queens to comment about it was Lana Gera, who tweeted saying, "I'm sorry, that's actually quite crazy to say if I'm being honest, but hashtag slay." Lana also replied to her own tweet and said, "This is about Joelle, mind you," and the following day she added, "Please double the hate and give it to Joella." Not long after Lana's tweet, a Twitter user posted the podcast clip alongside a screenshot of all of the Queen's comments with the caption, "Is there beef?" And this tweet then got a huge amount of traction. Corey King quote tweeted this post and said, "LMFAO." Jules Sparkles replied with, "This is not relatable." Season 16 Queen Plain Jane also weighed in on the situation and said, "This is funny as F. You get points with me for this one, Onya." Now, up until this point, most of the replies by the queens had been pretty jokey, although some of them did seem to be a bit surprised about what Onya said. However, the tweets and the reaction by the wider fandom was very negative towards Onya, and Onya started responding to some people's tweets. One Twitter user posted a tweet Onya had posted back in July where she said, "I miss Drag Race so much, I want to do it all again so bad, like I just miss competitions, my girls, and having zero control." And this person quote tweeted this with the caption, "awkward." And presumably they were implying that this contradicted what Onya had said about not being close friends with the queens. Onya replied to this person and said, "What about this is awkward, you weird ass B-word, quickly." The person replied saying, "Girl, they are on social media mad at you saying you aren't friends. Maybe go discuss it with them, it's clearly awkward." And Onya replied back saying, "I'm not a girl, babe, I'm a woman. A girl is what your mother was when she had you, so clearly she couldn't raise one, now go find something safe to do." Around the same time, Onya also posted a few tweets of her own. She said, "Just so we're clear, working non-stop has never been glamorous or symbolic of true freedom or success to me, nor is it something that I want to do for the rest of my life. Y'all do too much every time. There is literally no beef or anything. I'm just a black bad B-word speaking her truth and popping her bleep. If you don't like it, move the F around." She followed this up later by saying, "I'm really having a ball checking y'all capped out so-called fans. Who's next?" And this was not the end of the situation. One person replied to Onya and said, "The only way I see anything from you is when you're fighting or getting fired. Girl, get a job." And this is seemingly a reference to when Onya exited the Kinky Boots national tour last year, and I did talk about this in a previous video which I'll link to in the description. Onya then replied to this person and said, "Don't need one, I'm rich, what's your excuse?" While all of this was going on, there was also another conversation happening about whether the season 17 cast had actually been supportive to Onya or not. An Onya fan account tweeted saying, "The way as soon as Onya says something, everybody wanna start crying like y'all haven't been effing with her and picking on her throughout the entirety of her Drag Race airing." And they included a clip of Arietti's mirror message where she said that Onya had bad breath. Joella then quote tweeted that tweet and said, "We've done nothing but support her throughout airing and post-airing. Making TV is making TV. Everyone was made fun of and poked. We all love our sister and wish her the best and miss her very much." Joella also responded to quite a few people in the comments as well. One person said, "Making TV is making TV, and it's some of the most diabolical bleep I've ever seen on a talent-based competition show. Arietti was plain nasty for this, making it her lip-sync message, so it would 100% make the edit. Of all the things to defend or tweets to respond to, this ain't it." Joella replied saying, "Oh, yes, it was a nasty comment, and honestly, I was more so talking about the tweet and not really the video. But Arietti has seen the effects of her words and has done a lot to change and grow, and has apologized multiple times for the damage done since. Not really my place to speak on it, but here's some insight." Someone else asked why it was such a big issue that Onya said she wasn't close with her castmates when she had also said that they were her girls and that she did respect them. Joella replied saying, "To be honest, none of us are super close, lol, and there's not really any cliquing up going on. I usually only see the girls if I'm booked with them, or if they're in my city, I make the effort to go see them sometimes." And when someone asked Joella when was the last time that she had actually reached out to Onya, Joella said, "Every time I've seen her, I initiated it." Now, alongside all of that, a lot of queens also just use this situation as an opportunity to make some jokes about it. For example, Hormona Lisa tweeted saying, "Y'all can say whatever you want, but I still think things would have been different if the gift exchange during press week hadn't been such a flop." Joella replied to that with, "Please, I tried. And when someone asked whether this was a Secret Santa situation and what the best and worst gifts were, Hormona said, "Yes, worst gift was all the queens that didn't get their person a gift." Then Susie Toot posted what ended up being one of the most popular tweets of the whole situation, and Susie was seemingly joking about the comments that Onya had made. Susie said, "The rumours are true. I'm not close with the season 17 cast because we do not share commonalities. I have a show at the Pilgrim House in Provincetown running August 23rd to September 3rd, and the other girls don't. That's just something we can't relate on." She then posted a link to buy tickets and followed this up with, "Before y'all start, this is simply a joke about tacky self-promotion." Then the season 16 queens got involved as well. Safira Cristal tweeted saying, "Are we the only season to not have any sort of beef? Where my girls at? Who feels like starting something?" Megami replied saying, "Truly, we should one-up the other seasons. We should beat the bleep out of Nymphia." Hershey LaCourgette said, "I'll start. I think I don't like Plain Jane now." And Plain Jane replied to that saying, "The easiest target as always, sister. Just be real and say you don't F with Dawn." Then one of the last posts that came from the situation was from season 17 queen Lucky Stars, who said, "I love Onya Nurve, mind you, but also she has her story, her traumas, her journey, and I respect it. As someone who doesn't truly connect to anyone, it can feel lonely and I love my sister. Just know I am here for you in your loneliness because I understand how that can feel. My sis wasn't someone for the Matrix to understand, but I feel her and I understand her feelings, and I just want to give her some grace in a time where we feel others aren't. Love you, sister, always." And Onya replied to Lucky saying, "Thank you, sis." And that seems to be the end of the situation from what I can see at the time of making this video. It appears that although most of the queens were joking about the situation, some of the queens did seem to imply that they were a bit taken aback by what Onya said, and the wider backlash towards Onya has continued to be pretty negative. So we'll have to wait and see how the situation develops further, and whether Onya will address it in the future. Okay, and now we're going to move on to another bit of recent drama to do with season 13 queen Tamisha Iman getting called out for using AI. So over the past week or so, people have been commenting on the fact that a lot of images Tamisha has been posting on her Instagram appear to be AI generated. For example, about a week ago, Tamisha posted this image with the text, "Love yourself even when the world is against you." And the caption said, "It's important to know who you are and whose you are. Never allow anything in your life to steal your joy. You have purpose and you have God." Around the same time, she also posted what looked like a mirror selfie in a big fur hood, which people also said was very clearly AI generated, and the caption on that post said, "I can only be me." Tamisha added a comment underneath saying, "There was a time when I would go back and forth with a lot of you, but it will not change me and neither will it change you, so keep doing what you're doing. Run this post with hate and negativity, I live." So it seems Tamisha was already aware of the criticism against her at this point, and she was not planning on backing down. Tamisha later posted another AI-generated image of herself, surrounded by a cave full of trolls, and across the top it said, "The trolls be pressed," and "The Queen of AI." The caption on the post was just a laughing emoji, but Tamisha then added another comment underneath which said, "Trust, I have researched AI years before I started using it. It seems as if y'all need to research. That is why I pay y'all selective outrage no attention. I will never allow anyone that I don't know educate me on something that can be Google." Within a few hours, this post got a lot of engagement, and it became a widely discussed topic on social media. Other queens also weighed in on the situation as well. For example, season 16 queen Dawn seemingly tweeted in reference to what Tamisha had said, and Dawn said, "The Queen of AI is so crazy, LMFAO." And Lana said, "Her and Lucky's collab incoming." For those of you who may not know, this is a reference to season 17 queen Lucky Stars, who got called out earlier this year for posting AI-generated images of herself, and she got a lot of criticism for it. This included some tweets from other queens, for example Susie Toot, who tweeted, and although she didn't name Lucky, it's likely she was referring to her, and Susie said, "Your fans want to see you, your work, your words. You rob yourself of the opportunity to speak directly to your audience and connect with them when there is an asshole robot speaking for you." And Lucky later took down her post. Going back to Tamisha, one of the biggest responses came from season 12 queen Britta, who commented about Tamisha's posts. Britta said, "The funniest post I've seen all week, lol, but what exactly did you research, Ma? Saying you researched AI is like saying you researched medicine. It sounds impressive without demonstrating any actual understanding. Finding crap on Google doesn't mean you understand the ethical, legal, artistic, or technical arguments surrounding AI. And I pay y'all selective outrage no attention while creating an entire AI-generated graphic about the people you supposedly pay no attention to is a fascinating way to demonstrate how unbothered you are." Not long after all of this, Tamisha posted again. This time it was a promo image for her media company with the words, "I am the problem media" over it. The caption on the post said, "The colour is black, that I am. Proudly, unapologetically, from now on my comments are off. Welcome back to my page." And it does look like Tamisha has now turned off all comments on her Instagram account. Also, for a bit of context, Tamisha announced back in July 2025 that she was stepping back from drag to focus on her music and radio projects, Southern Soul Music Nation and Trail Ride Radio, and she has said a few times since that she doesn't really consider herself part of the drag race world anymore. In fact, she tweeted a few days ago saying, "Let me make this clear for the people in the back. A lot of you know me from Drag Race, but I've always been Tamisha Iman. Drag Race was a show for me, nothing more. Been there, done that, and moved on. I don't ride the Drag Race wave. I'm Tamisha Iman and my bills still get paid." Now, this whole backlash against AI is part of a much bigger conversation which has been going on in the fandom for a while now about AI and Drag Race, because it's not just the queens who have been called out for using AI, it's also the show as well. I have mentioned this previously on my channel, but back in July 2025, the official Drag Race YouTube channel uploaded an animated short film called Jinx and Plasma's Gay Adventure. People quickly pointed out that it appeared to be partly AI generated, and there was a lot of backlash against the video, and it was later made private and removed. Plasma also later confirmed that she only found out about the video when everyone else did. There was also the backlash during season 18 when RuPaul was supposedly drawing portraits of the top 4 queens, which were seemingly AI generated. Season 16 Queen Plasma commented about it at the time, saying, "I know that's not AI slop, be serious right now." There's also been recent allegations about Down Under versus the World, which is currently airing, because they have portraits in the workroom of Michelle Visage and the previous Down Under winners, and although they appear to be based on real photos, the actual portraits themselves seem to be AI generated, which led a lot of people on social media calling them out and questioning why they did that rather than just using the actual photos. So because of all of that, the topic of AI within the Drag Race fandom has become a very big issue, which is probably part of why the reaction to Tamisha's posts has been such a big thing. I should also mention, though, that there were also people who defended Tamisha and other queens in this situation, saying that Tamisha is not a working drag queen anymore, she's running her own media company on a budget, and that the fandom seems to be selective about when they're outraged about this. So for the time being, it looks like Tamisha has said everything she's going to say about the topic, and her comments are now switched off. So we'll have to wait and see if she ever says anything further about the situation. But as I always say, please do not send hate to Tamisha, Onya, or any other queens mentioned in this video. These videos are just intended to keep you up to date with what's happening in the world of Drag Race, but please remember to not send anyone any hate and just consume this type of content passively. So there you go, there was a video about 2 recent Drag Race dramas to do with Onya Nurve and Tamisha Iman. Let me know in the comments what you think about these situations. If you'd like to get things like early access, exclusive content, as well as many other benefits like priority to have your comments featured in my videos, you can check out either my Patreon, which is my main platform, or for a more convenient option if you want, you can also join my YouTube membership by clicking the join button under any of my videos. And there'll be links to both of those things in the description. I'd also like to say thank you so much to my amazing Patreon members. You are absolutely incredible. Your support truly does keep this channel going, and you have no idea how grateful I am to all of you. So honestly, thank you so much. Please make sure you like and comment on this video because it does help to boost it in the algorithm and promote it to even more people. And please make sure you do your big one and smash that subscribe button because it does make a big difference. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you'll join me in the future for some more Drag Race gossip, secrets, and drama. Thank you so much. Bye.